Should parents give up their own lives to live with their children as they grow older? Or is there another way to embrace the later years of life? This is a question that many of us will eventually face, and it's one that Jenny, a 66-year-old mother, had to confront when her life took an unexpected turn. Jenny's story is one of courage, defiance, and the pursuit of true happiness in the face of societal expectations. So, let's step into her journey and explore the path she chose. Jenny had spent most of her life caring for her family. She raised 2 children, a son and a daughter, with unwavering love and dedication. After her husband passed away, Jenny continued to live alone in her cozy little house, where every corner whispered memories of the family she had built. When she finally reached retirement age, she was ready to embrace a new chapter of freedom, filled with hobbies, friends, and simple joys she had longed for. But life had a different plan in store. Her son, Mark, had been worrying about his mother living alone. "Mom, you should come live with us," he insisted one afternoon over tea. "It'll be better for you than staying by yourself." Jenny looked into her son's earnest eyes and felt a wave of warmth. She missed having her family close, and the idea of sharing her daily life with them sounded comforting. So she agreed, packing up her belongings and leaving her home behind to move into her son's bustling household. For the first few months, it was wonderful. Jenny woke up to the sounds of her grandchildren laughing, filling the house with joy. Her daughter-in-law, Sarah, welcomed her warmly. "You don't have to do anything, Mom," Sarah said with a smile. "Just enjoy your time here. Go out for walks, meet other people, and relax." Jenny felt a glimmer of hope, thinking, maybe this is how retirement should be, surrounded by family and love. She started to believe she had made the right decision. Jenny took up morning walks in the neighborhood, strolling down streets lined with cherry blossoms, the sun's warmth brushing against her cheeks. She joined a local community center where she could dance and chat with other retirees. It was the perfect mix of family warmth and personal freedom. At least, that's what it seemed like at first. But then, things began to change. It started subtly, almost as if it crept in under the guise of simple help. "Mom, could you clean up the kitchen?" her daughter-in-law asked one morning. Jenny didn't mind, she was used to being helpful. But as days turned into weeks, the small favors grew into daily duties. Jenny found herself cooking dinner every night, washing loads of laundry, and picking up toys scattered across the living room floor. "Could you watch the kids while we run some errands?" they would say. Before she knew it, her days were consumed by cleaning, cooking, and childcare. Her dreams of dancing, gardening, and spending time with her friends were pushed aside. She felt the weight of expectation pressing down on her, transforming her into the unpaid housekeeper she never wanted to become. Jenny would lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering how her retirement turned into this cycle of chores and exhaustion. She had envisioned peaceful afternoons tending to flowers, sipping tea in her own garden, and rediscovering the hobbies she loved. Now, those dreams seemed like distant echoes. One weekend, as she scrubbed the kitchen counter, she overheard a conversation that broke something inside her. Mark and Sarah were discussing their upcoming holiday plans. "We're thinking of taking a week off to go to the beach," Sarah said excitedly. "Mom can take care of the kids while we're gone." The casualness of the comment stunned Jenny. They hadn't asked if she was okay with it. They simply assumed. She felt her heart sink. Had she become nothing more than a live-in nanny to them? That night, Jenny sat quietly in her room, a wave of emotions crashing over her. Anger, sadness, and a sense of being utterly unappreciated. "This isn't the life I wanted," she thought, clenching her hands into fists. She had spent decades caring for her family, and now, in what were supposed to be her golden years, she found herself trapped in an endless cycle of self-sacrifice. It wasn't fair, and for the first time, she let herself feel the sting of that truth. Days went by as Jenny wrestled with her thoughts. She loved her son and his family, but she realized she couldn't continue living this way. One morning, while everyone was bustling around getting ready for the day, Jenny took a deep breath and made her decision. "Mark," she called out, her voice steady, "I've decided I'm going to visit an old friend for a while." Her son stopped in his tracks, turning to look at her in surprise. But what about us? The kids, he stammered. Jenny met his gaze, feeling a mixture of sadness and resolve. I've done my part, she replied gently. It's time for you to take care of your own family. I need to live my life now. Sarah frowned, clearly unhappy. But you're part of this family, she protested. We need you here. You need me to work, Jenny corrected, her eyes soft but firm. But I need to live. I need to be more than just a caretaker. Packing her bags felt both terrifying and liberating. Each piece of clothing folded neatly into the suitcase was a symbol of her reclaiming the life she had nearly lost. She left her son's home with a mixture of sorrow and relief, not knowing exactly what awaited her, but knowing that she needed to find out. Jenny returned to her little house in the country, the place she had once called home. As she unlocked the door and stepped inside, she was greeted by the familiar smell of lavender from the garden. A wave of peace washed over her. This was where she belonged. She quickly fell back into the rhythms she had dreamed of. She adopted a small dog that followed her everywhere, wagging its tail with pure joy. She joined a dance group in the community center, her feet moving gracefully to the music as laughter filled the room. She spent afternoons planting flowers, the earth warm and comforting under her hands, and reconnected with friends over tea, their conversations filled with stories and laughter. Word of Jenny's decision spread through her community, becoming a beacon of hope for others who were silently struggling with similar expectations. Her story was more than just leaving her son's home. It was a bold declaration that she, too, deserved to live with joy, dignity, and fulfillment. It wasn't about rejecting her family. It was about embracing herself and the life she had put on hold for so long. Now, Jenny wakes up each day with a sense of purpose. She walks through the park with a spring in her step, the morning sun shining on her face as she greets new friends. She spends evenings in her garden, the flowers blooming around her, filling the air with sweet scents. She finally has the freedom to pursue the simple joys she had dreamed of. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that it's never too late to choose your own path, to pursue the happiness and peace you deserve. It's a call to all older adults to stand firm in their right to live independently, to reject the notion that their primary role is to serve others at the expense of their own well-being. So, if you ever find yourself in a similar situation, remember Jenny's courage. Life is too precious to be spent in the shadow of others' expectations. You too deserve to live boldly, freely, and unapologetically, no matter your age. Now, you want to know how to unlock happiness in old age? You're in the right place. Growing older can be one of the most fulfilling times of our lives, but it's all about how we choose to spend those precious days. We often think that happiness is found in grand achievements, but the real joy often lies in the little things we do regularly. One of those simple yet life-changing practices is joining community classes or clubs. You might wonder, how can something so small make such a difference? Well, let's dive into it and explore why this could be a game changer for anyone looking to find fulfillment in their later years. The power of having a sense of purpose. Waking up each day with something to look forward to can make all the difference in how we feel. When we sign up for a class, whether it's pottery, painting, gardening, or even a dance group, we introduce a sense of structure into our days. It's not just about keeping busy, it's about having a rhythm that brings excitement and direction. Think about it. Instead of just passing time, we're spending it in a way that feels meaningful. This anticipation creates a light at the end of the tunnel, especially on days when loneliness or restlessness try to creep in. Having that positive routine gives us a reason to get out of bed with enthusiasm, setting the tone for a fulfilling day ahead. The social magic that happens when we join these community activities. We often underestimate the value of human connection, but the truth is, meeting people who share similar interests can be incredibly enriching. Picture walking into a room full of people who enjoy the same hobbies as you. Conversations flow effortlessly, laughter fills the air, and suddenly, you're surrounded by a new circle of friends. These aren't just acquaintances. They become our companions, our support system. In these spaces, we find people who truly understand us, who celebrate our successes, and who stand by us during tough times. It's a feeling of camaraderie that makes life less isolated and far more enjoyable. Connecting with others in these ways adds depth to our lives, reminding us that we're part of a vibrant, caring community. Another powerful aspect of joining classes or clubs is how it keeps our minds sharp and agile. When we immerse ourselves in learning something new, like picking up a musical instrument or diving into a new book, we're giving our brains the stimulation they need to stay active. Our minds, much like our bodies, need regular exercise to stay in top shape. Engaging in mentally stimulating activities acts like a workout for our cognitive health, helping us maintain our memory, focus, and problem-solving skills. This mental engagement doesn't just keep us busy, it builds resilience, offering protection against age-related cognitive decline. It's as if we're giving our minds the nutrients they need to thrive, enriching our inner world and enhancing our overall quality of life. Physical benefits of these activities. Many community classes involve movement. Think of yoga, dancing, tai chi, or even gentle exercise sessions. Regular physical activity is essential for keeping our bodies strong, flexible, and balanced. When we stay active, we're not just preserving our mobility, we're boosting our confidence. Moving our bodies, no matter the intensity, releases endorphins, the natural mood lifters. This physical vitality spills over into our emotional well-being, making us feel more alive and capable. It's like we're rediscovering our youth through every stretch, every step, and every moment of shared laughter. And the joy we feel when moving with others, when sharing that experience, amplifies the happiness we create. And there's the sheer fun of it all. Yes, fun. We often forget that joy and laughter are essential for a vibrant life, no matter our age. When we dive into a new hobby, engage in a friendly game, or share stories with our newfound friends, we're not just passing the time, we're creating beautiful memories. That feeling of accomplishment when we learn a new skill, the thrill of discovering a hidden talent, or even the simple pleasure of being part of something greater than ourselves. These moments fill our hearts with a sense of contentment. They remind us that aging isn't about losing. It's about gaining new experiences and perspectives that add richness to our lives. So by embracing these community activities, we're not just unlocking happiness. We're building a life brimming with joy, connection, and endless possibilities. The second lesson we want to share with you is the profound impact of volunteering and helping the community, especially as we grow older. Now, we know how easy it can be to retreat into our own worlds as we age, feeling the weight of isolation creeping in. But imagine this. When we step outside of our comfort zones and actively contribute to our community, it's like opening a door to a brighter, more fulfilling chapter of life. The moment we engage in volunteer activities, we're not just giving back. We're enriching our own lives in ways that are deeply rewarding. We start forming connections, meeting people from different walks of life, and building a network of support that becomes a vital part of our mental and emotional well-being. This sense of belonging can be like a breath of fresh air, lifting us out of loneliness and reminding us that we're not alone in this journey. Think about what happens to our sense of purpose when we volunteer. It's easy to feel as though our contributions to society have dwindled with retirement or the passing of years. But that couldn't be further from the truth. When we see the tangible effects of our efforts, whether it's mentoring a young person, feeding the hungry, or simply lending a hand at a community event, it sparks something inside of us. That feeling of accomplishment, of knowing that we're still making a difference, fills our hearts with joy and boosts our self-esteem. This isn't just about staying busy, it's about rediscovering our sense of worth, knowing that we're valuable members of society with wisdom and skills to offer. How volunteering keeps our minds sharp and engaged. We often talk about the importance of keeping mentally active as we age, and volunteering offers the perfect opportunity for this. When we learn new skills, adapt to new environments, or solve unexpected problems that come up during community projects, our brains are constantly being challenged. This mental stimulation is crucial. It helps keep cognitive decline at bay, allowing us to stay vibrant and alert. The social interactions we experience during these activities are also an exercise for our minds, encouraging us to stay curious and open to the perspectives of others. Volunteering can also improve our physical health. Think of all the volunteer activities that require us to move around. Gardening at a community garden, participating in charity walks, or even assisting with setting up events. These activities can help us maintain a level of physical activity that supports our overall health. And the beauty of it is that we're not exercising just for the sake of it. We're doing it because we're part of something bigger than ourselves. That makes the effort feel so much more meaningful and enjoyable. And before we know it, we've built healthier habits into our lives. The power of helping others when it comes to fostering a positive mindset. When we give, we enter a cycle of kindness that brings joy not just to those we help, but to ourselves as well. Every act of generosity creates a ripple effect that enhances our own well-being. It reduces our stress levels, shifts our focus away from our own worries, and fills us with a sense of peace and happiness. In this way, volunteering becomes a daily reminder of the good that exists in the world and the role we can play in amplifying it. So, when we make that choice to give our time and energy to the community, we're not just adding value to the lives of others. We're enriching our own lives with purpose, connection, and fulfillment. The next one, and maybe many older folks already know about this, it's the joy of gardening. Now let's consider this for a moment. Gardening isn't just about getting your hands dirty or tending to a few plants. It's an experience that goes much deeper than we might initially think. For those of us who have reached a certain age, this activity can become a true source of happiness. Imagine it as more than just a pastime. It's a way to connect with nature, stay physically engaged, and discover peace within ourselves. By nurturing a garden, we are not just cultivating plants, but also planting seeds of fulfillment and joy that enrich our lives in ways we may not have expected. Let's begin with the physical aspect of gardening. Many may assume that it's simply a gentle hobby, but it's quite the opposite. Gardening involves various movements, whether we're kneeling to plant seeds, bending to pull out weeds, or stretching to trim a tall bush. Each of these actions requires effort, and it's this effort that keeps our muscles active. We don't realize it at first, but these small movements help maintain our body's flexibility and strength. It's almost like having a workout routine without even stepping into a gym. When we water plants or carry soil, we're naturally building endurance and improving our coordination. This kind of physical activity is especially valuable as we get older because it helps us stay mobile and energized without the pressure of intense exercise. And while we're outside, we're not just moving our bodies, we're soaking up some sunshine. Being out in the sun, even for a short while, gives us a vital dose of vitamin D, which is essential for our bone health. As we age, maintaining strong bones becomes increasingly important to avoid fractures or other health issues. Sunlight provides a natural way to boost our vitamin D levels, which not only strengthens our bones, but also positively influences our mood. Think of it as nature's own remedy for both body and mind. When we spend time in our garden, the benefits of fresh air and natural light combine to make us feel more vibrant and alive. But gardening isn't just about the body. It's also a fantastic exercise for the mind. Let's take a moment to think about the mental engagement involved in caring for a garden. We have to plan what to plant, decide where each flower or vegetable will go, and remember the different care each plant needs. This planning requires us to think strategically, to recall details, and to solve small problems along the way. In doing so, we're keeping our minds sharp and active. It's almost like giving our brain a workout, except this one comes with the reward of seeing our efforts grow and blossom. Every time we face a new challenge in the garden, whether it's figuring out how to deal with pests or adjusting the watering schedule for different weather conditions, we're stimulating our cognitive functions. This kind of mental stimulation is crucial as we age because it helps to keep our memory and problem-solving abilities in top shape. Plus, the satisfaction we get from successfully growing a plant or solving a garden-related problem can give us a real sense of achievement, reinforcing our mental and emotional well-being. On that note, let's delve into the emotional side of gardening. There's something deeply therapeutic about nurturing plants and watching them grow. We may not always realize it, but the simple act of planting, watering, and tending to our garden creates a calming rhythm in our daily lives. It gives us a chance to slow down, to focus our thoughts on something serene, and to be present in the moment. In those quiet moments, surrounded by greenery, the worries and stresses of life seem to fade into the background, replaced by a feeling of calm and contentment. Imagine standing in a garden full of blooming flowers, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, and breathing in the fresh air. That experience alone has a powerful impact on our mood. Studies have shown that being surrounded by nature can lower anxiety and improve our overall sense of well-being. When we immerse ourselves in the beauty of the natural world, we find a sense of peace that is hard to replicate elsewhere. It's like our garden becomes a sanctuary, a place where we can retreat to recharge and find solace. Don't overlook the social aspect of gardening. It's not just something we do in isolation. Gardening can bring people together in beautiful ways. We can join community gardens, share tips with our neighbors, or invite friends over to help with planting. These interactions create a sense of camaraderie and connection that adds another layer of joy to the experience. As we get older, maintaining social bonds becomes more important than ever, and gardening offers a wonderful opportunity to engage with others in a meaningful way. Sharing stories about our gardening successes, exchanging plants, or simply enjoying the company of fellow gardeners can help prevent feelings of loneliness and isolation. The act of gardening also gives us a remarkable sense of control. In our garden, we get to make the choices. We decide what to plant, where to place each plant, and how to nurture it. This feeling of agency can be incredibly empowering, especially as other areas of life may feel less within our control. The garden becomes a reflection of our care and decisions, providing a space where we can express ourselves and shape our surroundings as we please. This sense of ownership can be deeply satisfying and give us something tangible to look forward to each day. Let's talk about the joy of harvest. There's something uniquely rewarding about growing our own fruits, vegetables, or herbs. When we pick a ripe tomato or gather fresh basil from our garden, we're reminded of the effort and patience we've invested in nurturing those plants. This connection between garden and table brings a deeper appreciation for the food we eat. It's not just about the end product. It's about the journey, the care, and the gratitude we feel for nature's bounty. This simple yet profound experience can fill us with a sense of purpose and accomplishment that is incredibly nourishing for our spirit. Some of us might be concerned that gardening could be too demanding or time-consuming. But here's the beauty of it. Gardening is as flexible as we want it to be. We can adapt it to fit our abilities and preferences. Raised garden beds, container gardening, or choosing low-maintenance plants are all ways to make the experience enjoyable and accessible. It's not about striving for perfection. It's about finding joy in the process. Whether we're growing a small collection of potted herbs or cultivating a large vegetable garden, the act itself brings a sense of fulfillment that can brighten our daily routine. 4. How do we stay curious and keep learning as we grow older? What truly matters to our happiness? Let's explore this together, because it's more than just a casual idea. It's a way of living that can transform how we experience our later years. When we think of lifelong learning, we often picture school or formal education, but really, it's much broader than that. It's about keeping our minds open to new experiences, ideas, and skills that keep us feeling engaged and connected to the world around us. So, how can we make this journey of lifelong learning both practical and fulfilling? First, let's consider the power of curiosity. As children, our natural curiosity drives us to explore everything around us, but as we grow older, life's responsibilities can sometimes make us forget that joy of discovery. By reigniting that curiosity, we invite a spark into our lives that keeps our minds active and vibrant. Think about the satisfaction that comes from figuring out something new, like mastering a smartphone or learning how to use an app. Each small victory boosts our confidence and makes us feel capable, showing us that no matter our age, we are still growing and adapting. Now, Why is keeping the mind sharp so essential? It's simple. A sharp mind is a resilient mind. When we regularly challenge our brains with new information, puzzles, or activities, we build mental strength that can help us navigate life's complexities with greater ease. Have you noticed how quickly technology evolves? By learning how to use these new tools, we not only make our lives easier, but also strengthen our connection with others. Something as simple as knowing how to video call a friend or family member can lift our spirits and help us stay involved in their lives, no matter the distance. And about the practical side of learning. In today's world, being able to use technology effectively can make a significant difference in our independence. Think about paying bills online, shopping for groceries through an app, or finding important information with just a few clicks. These skills reduce stress and give us more time to enjoy what truly matters to us. It's not about becoming a tech expert. It's about learning enough to make our daily lives smoother and less worrisome. The more we familiarize ourselves with these modern tools, the more empowered we feel in our everyday activities. But learning isn't just about practical skills. It's also about bringing joy into our lives. We all need a sense of accomplishment, and that comes from trying new things and setting personal challenges. For example, picking up a hobby like gardening, cooking, or joining a book club. Each of these activities not only enriches our knowledge, but also introduces us to new communities. When we engage in these social activities, we build connections that feed our emotional well-being. And that's the beauty of lifelong learning. It opens doors to experiences and relationships that we might have otherwise missed. When we actively seek out new information or skills, we remind ourselves that we are not merely passive observers in life. We are active participants, capable of shaping our experiences. Have you ever tried learning something and felt that burst of pride when you finally get it? That feeling isn't just a fleeting joy. It's a reminder that we are still capable of growth, regardless of our age. It reinforces the belief that our potential is not bound by our years, but by our willingness to explore. Don't overlook the mental health benefits either. Learning new things gives our mind something to focus on, reducing the chances of falling into negative thought patterns. When we're busy figuring out how to bake a new recipe or understanding how to use a new app, our minds are occupied with curiosity and problem solving. It's like giving ourselves a mental workout. Just as physical exercise keeps our bodies healthy, mental exercise keeps our minds flexible and robust, which is crucial as we age. Have you ever noticed how trying something new can be both nerve-wracking and exciting? That blend of emotions is where growth happens. When we challenge ourselves to step out of our comfort zones, we not only learn a new skill, but also strengthen our resilience. It's like telling ourselves, yes, we can handle change. And with every new thing we learn, that inner voice grows more confident, reminding us that we're still in control of our journey. Staying curious also means being open to the changing world around us. It's easy to become set in our ways, but when we make an effort to understand new trends, technologies, or ideas, we remain part of the larger conversation. Have you ever sat with a group of younger people and found their perspectives fascinating? By engaging with different generations, we enrich our own understanding and keep our minds flexible. We become not just observers but participants in the evolving story of our times. And the joy that comes from sharing what we learn. When we pick up a new hobby or gain a new skill, we create opportunities to share those experiences with others. Have you ever taught a friend how to use a new app or shared a recipe you recently mastered? Those moments of connection not only deepen our relationships, but also reinforce our own knowledge. It's a beautiful cycle. By learning, we gain something valuable, and by sharing, we give something precious. In our journey of lifelong learning, let's not forget to be kind to ourselves. It's easy to get frustrated when something new doesn't come naturally, but every attempt, every little step forward counts. When we approach learning with patience and self-compassion, we turn the process into a positive experience rather than a source of stress. We remind ourselves that the goal isn't perfection but progress. And with each new thing we try, we build a richer, more vibrant life. So, how can we start embracing lifelong learning? Begin with what genuinely interests us. Whether it's a new technology, a hobby, or even a historical topic, let our curiosity guide us. Take small, manageable steps and celebrate each achievement. Every new thing we learn is a building block for a more independent, joyful life. And remember, it's not about how quickly we learn, but about the joy and fulfillment that comes from the process. Taking care of your mental health, travel, and exploration. These aren't just buzzwords, they're essential elements of living a vibrant and fulfilling life, especially as the years go by. Often when we think of health, our minds jump straight to physical fitness. But mental well-being is equally, if not more, important. So, how do we nurture our minds and keep them sharp, calm, and ready for everyday's adventures? Let's explore this together. Imagine waking up each morning not with a sense of dread or worry, but with a quiet strength that carries you through the day. That's the power of prioritizing mental health. Now, one of the simplest yet most effective ways to care for our mental state is through practices like meditation and yoga. These aren't just activities, they are gateways to a calmer, more centered existence. Think of meditation as giving your mind a much-needed rest. Throughout our days, our thoughts race around, pulling us in every direction. What if, for just a few minutes, we could slow down that mental whirlwind? Sitting in stillness, focusing on your breath, or a simple yet soothing phrase can create a space of tranquility. It's in these moments of silence that our worries start to fade and we begin to feel more in control of our reactions to life's challenges. Yoga, on the other hand, goes beyond just a physical exercise. It's a practice that harmonizes the body and mind through deliberate movements and deep breathing. You don't need to be a master at yoga poses to reap its benefits. Simple, gentle stretches adapted to our abilities can make a tremendous difference. Picture yourself in a quiet room, slowly moving through each pose, feeling your muscles release tension with every breath. That's the essence of yoga. It strengthens not only the body, but also teaches us to listen to our inner self, to slow down and breathe through difficult moments. Over time, this practice brings better sleep, reduces aches, and cultivates a sense of inner peace. But mental health isn't just about what we do alone. There's immense value in sharing our thoughts and feelings with others. We all carry stories, worries, and joys that need a place to be expressed. When we bottle things up, it's easy to feel isolated and overwhelmed. This is where support groups or therapy can make a world of difference. Imagine sitting in a circle of individuals who nod in understanding as you speak, who have walked similar paths. It's comforting to know that we're not alone, that others are experiencing the same emotions and challenges. By opening up, we release the weight of our thoughts and make room for healing. Staying mentally active is another cornerstone of emotional well-being. You see, the brain, much like any muscle in our body, needs regular exercise to stay in shape. Engaging in activities like reading, solving puzzles, or even learning a new skill keeps our minds sharp and curious. Have you ever felt the rush of finishing a challenging crossword or learning something new that just fascinates you? That's your mind reveling in the joy of exploration and discovery. And let's not underestimate the power of social connections. Reaching out to loved ones, having meaningful conversations, laughing together. These interactions remind us that we are part of a larger community, that we matter. Now, let's dive into the exciting world of travel and exploration. Have you ever noticed how your spirit feels lighter when you step out of your daily routine? Travel isn't just about visiting new places. It's about immersing ourselves in experiences that enrich our soul. Imagine wandering through a foreign market, hearing the chatter of people speaking a different language, smelling unfamiliar spices in the air. Travel introduces us to a world of new sensations, keeping our senses engaged and alive. It's not just our bodies that are moving, it's our minds that are expanding. Travel also keeps us physically active in the most delightful ways. Instead of viewing exercise as a chore, picture exploring a new city on foot, hiking a scenic trail, or even strolling along a beach at sunset. These activities don't just get our blood pumping, they fill us with a sense of wonder and excitement. Moving our bodies becomes less about staying fit and more about embracing the world around us. Every step we take while traveling is a step toward better health and a more joyful life. Then, there's the mental stimulation that comes with discovering new cultures. Every time we learn about different customs, taste exotic foods, or try to speak a few words in another language, we're giving our brains a workout. It's like solving a puzzle or reading a gripping novel. Our minds thrive on these challenges. This kind of mental exercise keeps us alert, curious, and open-minded. It's in these moments of exploration that we remind ourselves that the world is full of endless possibilities, no matter our age. Let's not forget the social connections travel fosters. Whether we're sharing a meal with fellow travelers, chatting with locals, or laughing over a mishap with friends, these interactions create bonds that last a lifetime. Think about the joy of reminiscing over travel adventures with family or friends. It brings us closer, fills our hearts with warmth, and adds layers to our relationships. We become storytellers, sharing our experiences and passing on the thrill of exploration to those around us. The emotional benefits of travel are equally powerful. There's a unique sense of liberation in stepping away from our routine. We leave behind our daily worries, allowing ourselves to be fully present in the moment. Travel provides a shift in perspective. When we witness a breathtaking landscape or walk through a bustling market, our personal concerns seem to fade into the background. We become part of something larger than ourselves, and this realization can bring immense peace and joy. Moreover, travel adds an element of adventure to our lives that's often missing in the day-to-day grind. There's something invigorating about stepping into the unknown, whether it's exploring a new city, trying an unfamiliar dish, or navigating a foreign train system. These experiences awaken our inner explorer and remind us that life is full of surprises waiting to be uncovered. This sense of adventure fuels our spirit, making us feel young at heart, regardless of the years behind us. So taking care of our mental health and embracing travel aren't just about avoiding stress or filling time. They're about enriching our lives with moments that matter, that make us feel alive and connected. The practices of meditation, yoga, sharing our thoughts, staying engaged in activities, and exploring new places create a holistic approach to well-being. They help us not only cope with life's ups and downs, but also savor the beauty and joy that each day offers. It is about giving ourselves permission to slow down, to breathe, to explore, and to connect. It's about choosing to fill our days with practices that nourish our soul, whether that's through quiet reflection or exciting adventures. For many, the decision to live alone opens up a world of financial independence, a chance to manage life on their own terms. It's about finding fulfillment in the small things, whether it's the tranquility of a peaceful home, the luxury of time to read a book uninterrupted, or the opportunity to reconnect with dreams that may have been set aside. If you find yourself considering this path, know that you're not alone. Countless men have stepped into this chapter of life and discovered a profound sense of reward and meaning. It's not just a journey, it's a transformation that could lead to one of the most enriching experiences you've ever had. We encourage you to take that leap. Each small step we take toward nurturing our mental well-being adds to a life that is rich, balanced, and deeply satisfying. So let's embrace these opportunities, because every moment is a chance to discover more about ourselves and the world we live in. And if you're already walking this road, we'd love to hear your stories. Your experiences could offer insight and inspiration to others who are contemplating the same. Please feel free to share in the comments. And if you found this discussion helpful, consider liking and subscribing to stay connected with more content that speaks to choices like these. We appreciate you being here with us today. Thank you, and see you next time.